Hello and welcome to another beauty box unboxing. This time it's a really good one for me. It's a limited edition from Cohorted and it's a Maison Crivelli sort of discovery set of perfumes. This was released I think in March 2024, but it is still available now it's April. I have no idea what the date is, about the 7th of April. And it is still available when I checked their website earlier today. So it costs £29.99. It's got a value of £80, contains 6 perfumes altogether. 3 are quite small sample sizes, they're only about 1.5ml. 3 are 5ml sizes, so quite decent actually. You also get a little branded pouch with it too. There isn't a leaflet with it, there was just a QR code on the box which took me to the app. There was no particular description that I could see of this box, or no full description that I could see on there. It may have changed since. So what I did though is I went to the brand's website to have a little look about the information on each of these perfumes. It's a great website. If you do get this box, I urge you to have a look at it because it gives you information on the ingredients. They've got some amazing ingredients in these perfumes. That's why I suppose it's so pricey. And it also has some pictures and videos that you can watch while smelling the fragrances. So you can kind of visualize the thought behind each of them, because each of them has a proper thought that they've been sort of based upon, which I will explain while we're going through. Because what I did was, because I think perfume's a real personal thing, isn't it? And that's one of the things I've discovered since I've got really into sniffing it. I'm no expert. I just smell it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, that's great. But we're all different, aren't we? So I tried a perfume on the other day, not one of these, funnily enough, but another one. And I thought it smelled beautiful. But somebody else, they will remain nameless, they do live here though, thought it smelt of damp. It kind of did a bit, but you know, it was nice. It was a nice damp. It wasn't one of these though. But perfume is a kind of personal thing. So what I say here, you may completely disagree with, and that's fine. You might smell it differently. Who knows whether we all smell the same things. What I did then was I tried 2 on at a time. And then I made notes on what I thought they smelled like before reading what they smelled like on the brand's website, because partly I wanted to see if I could identify the notes that the brand say is in there. And partly it's better when you're smelling it for yourself to see how you feel. When you read it, you actually are, I think, guided into smelling something different in a weird sort of way. One of them in particular did that to me. But yeah, it was interesting. My notes that I smelled were mostly wrong, but I did get a few right. So there are 6 altogether. I've kind of put them in order of my least favourite first through to my favourite. But funnily enough, the one that's come upon as number 5 on here, having worn all 6 of them together today, I quite like now. So they're all over the place. Now, I am rubbish at lefts and right, and I did muck up quite considerably earlier on because I got them mixed up. Even when I'm concentrating on getting my lefts and rights right, I get them wrong. So I have written down where they all are, but I might get this wrong. So just let me just, if I make a mistake, I'll just try and get back again. So the first one in here is one of the smaller sample sizes. This is Oud Stallion. It's 1.5ml. The brand says that this is available as a worldwide exclusive at Harrods on their e-shop. Sorry, I can't even read now. So it does look like it was out of stock at Harrods when I checked, but you could get 50ml for €215 from the Maison Crivelli online shop. That's about £185 for 50ml, so you can see it's an expensive one. Now, this is an extrait de perfume. So apparently this is also known as pure perfume, and it's the most concentrated form of fragrance, which makes the scent even more potent and longer lasting than eau de parfums. So this one is in my mid-arm on the right hand side, which is this one, because this is the side that I write with. That's how I work it out in my head. So the brand says, the defining adventure, smelling oud wood whilst attending a horse race, the surprising contrast, a smoky leather, contrasting with the depth of oud wood. And they say it's the fragrance family of leather woody. Ingredients include cardamom absolute, oud, nutmeg, saffron, rose absolute, cedar wood, leather accord, patchouli oil, roasted tonka bean absolute. So what I wrote, this one actually did bring back different memories for me. So I'll just have a little sniff of what it is now. The thing with this though is I have been wearing it for a few hours, so it has kind of mellowed a little bit. And they changed, these ones change so much through the day. Honestly, you have to wear bare arms and just keep smelling. The first time you wear them, I suggest having a day where you can sniff a lot. This one, yeah, it's completely different the way it started. It starts really smoky. It's autumnal. Bonfire, I put, intense, with a bit of vanilla hint coming through slightly. After about 30 minutes, it was like being in a kitchen with a coal fire, and a slight smell of baking a cake in the background. Maybe that, I think, after I read what was in there, I thought, well, maybe that actually could be the nutmeg, and the nutmeg that's in there and the cardamom maybe gave that sort of impression for me. So it does go smoky again, but with a different, milder version, and finishes with a smooth fragrance, still smoke, vanilla, and I was picking up the leathery smell on this one too. This for me is a lovely autumnal kind of smell. So as I say, it's in the mid-arm here. It has gone much more milder now. It actually, to me, there's definite vanilla there, a slight smoky, but not massively. It's really rather lovely now. I kind of want to spray it fresh, but I know then that I won't smell any of the other perfumes. So, but do you know what? Let's do it, because I do know what they smell like and I've written it down. So let's do it. The fresh smells, I think, on these are amazing. They're so intense, especially with these kind of extrait de parfum. That is, it's massively, wow, hit. It's funny, it smells slightly different to me now, funnily enough. So much so that I'm just going to check it is the right one. With me, I've probably gone and put the blooming wrong one back in the box or something silly. Yeah, that's it. It is. Yeah, that's it. It's smoky. It smells of smoke. It smells of coal fires. It does that sort of thing to me. So yeah, it does evoke a memory, and that's what I like about perfume. So I had that bit of gap there and me checking it all out. I was going off on one there. So yeah, great one for me, especially that first hit to go on an autumn walk in the woods or something like that. The next one, now this one is the one that's had me a little bit confused today, because it is Naroli Nimba, 1.5ml again. It's an eau de parfum this time, not quite as strong. You can get 30ml of this on the brand's website for €90, which I think is around £77 at the moment. So this is on my mid-arm left. And the brand says, the defining adventure, a discovery of orange blossom during a walking safari. The surprising contrast, orange blossom essential oil, neroli and a leather accord. Fragrance family, floral, leather. And the ingredients include tangerine, pink peppercorn, cardamom, orange blossom absolute, neroli, petitgrain, leather and vetiver essence. And I wrote, the initial smell for me is quite calming. It's definitely on the floral side, not overly sweet. Felt like a little bit of an older style of perfume to me. It reminds me of the sort of thing that my mum might have bought me back in the 80s. But you do get a kind of background smell, which I think might be the leather. I'm not sure. It changes it. It makes it a bit more interesting. Goes a bit sweeter quite quickly. But again, there's almost something a little bit smoky that counteracts the sweetness. It balances it a bit more. So it's a more interesting smell than just floral. Closing my eyes, it was like walking into an old-fashioned sweet shop, which was a bit strange. And then it goes much gentler and very calming. Now, this one is the one that I would have put in 5th place when I was doing my sort of reviews to myself. But having worn them all today, I really like it now. There's something, I mean, I have been wearing it for a few hours, obviously. There's something very calming, beautiful, childlike almost about it. And I like it a lot. So let's try it. I'm just checking. I'm going to have to start doing these with glasses on. I'm so vain that I don't do that, but I really should. So this is the Naroli one, I think. So let's give it a little spritz again to do it a bit fresh. The very first sniff, you have to just give it a second, I find, with these. Yeah, so I can get the Naroli coming through straight away on that one. It's got that floral hit, but it's got more interest to it. It's hard to describe with these perfumes. You get this, you can sniff them and then you can really inhale and you'll get something else. Very interesting. But yeah, so this one, not too keen on the first bit of it, I think, but it mellows out into this beautiful sort of innocent kind of smell. Okay, I would say that is one for the spring, summer. This time of year, actually, it's probably a really good one. Lazy Sunday mornings, that kind of thing. A bit like me this morning. Okay, the next one. So then we got on to my 2 middle ones, which I thought were really, really interesting ones. So this one is Oud Maracuja, another extrait de parfum. I'm probably saying that really wrongly, but never mind. So you can get 50 mils of this at Harrods. It's £220 though for 50 mils. So this is on my left inside elbow. This one, they say, the brand says, the defining adventure, a passion fruit tasting in remote old wood forests. The surprising contrast, the richness of oud wood contrasted by exotic and luminous passion fruit notes. The fragrance family is exotic, woody and fruity. So ingredients include passion fruit accord, saffron, rose absolute, oud accord, benzoin cistus absolute, leather accord, patchouli oil, vanilla, akigala wood, and I think that's it. Probably some other things, I don't know. That's the ones I got from the website. I initially thought this was a very recognisable fragrance, but I couldn't put my finger on it. There was definitely a fruity smell to start with, but also a smoky element, but weirdly not like a fire. So it quickly changed into a more woody feel. It reminded me of school for some reason. And the vision I got when sort of sniffing it and closing my eyes was walking down a corridor at my old school. And we're talking like 40 years ago, to the main hall. No idea why. Still an element of fruit in the background. This one is really strange. So if you inhale deeply, the fruit does come through more intensely. A bit later on, a sweeter fragrance started to come through, almost like cotton or linen-y type of perfume. It reminded me of a childhood sweet, but I couldn't think of which one. And after about an hour, the sweetness is still there, but there's something underneath I thought was slightly off-putting, but I don't know whether that was because it was still giving me the school vibes. After a few hours, it finishes beautifully. I got like a smooth and rich custard from it, so I don't know where that was from. But this is in my inner elbow, and it's difficult because I've just smelled sprayed the Naroli. Yeah, it's gone kind of vanilla-y now. Did it say it had vanilla in there? I can't even remember. Yes, it did. So yeah, it does go vanilla-y, but a really interesting vanilla, not just your boring common or garden vanilla. So I like this one. It came in at number 4 when I was rating them initially. It still is lovely. The first burst of it is a bit strange, I would say. What I realised afterwards when I read what was in there was that the fruitiness is the passion fruit. You can actually get the passion fruit from here. I didn't recognize. I knew it was recognizable, but I couldn't get what it was, and that is what it is. But there's some other strange smells with it, so it does give a really interesting kind of fragrance to it. I'm going to really smell strongly when I go downstairs now, aren't I? Yeah, it's massive passion fruit. Once you know when you think you recognise it and you just can't put your finger on it. But yeah, it is. It's a very, very interesting, I would say, complicated perfume. I think it's a summery smell, probably because it is the fruitiest one in here, I think. Yeah, I like it. Definite top 4. Okay, the next one is called, now I'll probably say this wrong, Ombre Chromatique is how I would say it. And it's another extrait, I think. So this one's on my right inner elbow. I just have to think which side I'm going. Gosh, I hope I get it right. The defining adventure, a trek through multicoloured jungles in search of benzoin resin. The surprising contrast, vivid resinous facets contrast with the warm amber accord. The fragrance family is amber, spicy and woody, and the ingredients include peppercorn, Divana essential oil, osmanthus absolute, benzoin absolute, bourbon vanilla absolute, and akagala wood. So I wrote that the first hit really was very recognisable. It reminded me of an orange cake I used to make with a syrup flavoured with cloves and cinnamon, or a hot toddy, something like that. Very, very strong to start with, very impressive kind of smell. It moves quickly into a warm spice like autumn and winter smells and tastes. Reminds me of a sweet as well from long ago, but again, I couldn't put my finger on that one. After about an hour, I thought this was very beautiful, very exotic. There's still an element of spice, but behind it was something very fragrant. It felt almost ancient, and I thought it would work really well with doing Reiki, practicing meditation, that sort of thing. I kept getting wafts of this one through the day, and I was wearing 2 perfumes at a time. One of them may have been an eau de parfum. I can't remember. Obviously, if this one's a bit stronger, that's probably why. But the wafts were lovely, peaceful. They kind of gave this inner peace that came through with it. So this one, I think, is here. Oh my gosh, I can still smell it. It is an intense perfume. This point, for a few hours, it's blooming lovely. It's very calming. I honestly think this is a very spiritual kind of perfume. If you're into that sort of thing, obviously, which I am. It's lovely. I can't explain it to you, but I like it a lot. So let's give it another little spray. It's very intense to start with, really, really intense smell. And as I say, it's like, oh gosh, that went somewhere that it wasn't meant to, and it went on my finger. Yeah, oh my goodness me. It just smells really Christmassy, cinnamony. I think it's a great one for December. It's just, that's what it smells like to me. It's whether I would wait to use this in December. Would it be okay then still? I'm not sure. I'll probably put it in my perfume advent calendar and see. Okay, the next item, perfume, getting confused. So we come to my top 2 now. Now the top 2, very, very difficult to choose between them. I really, really like them both, surprisingly. So the first one is Santal Volcanique. It's a 5ml one. So this one is available at Harrods, and it's £30 for 30 mils, sorry, is £90. I think I've got that the wrong way around. Bear with me a second. I'm going to check that out. I have serious menopause fog at the moment. I put that it was £30 for 90 mils. Of course it's not. 30 mils costs £90. It's available from a few places actually. When I just checked, it was in Selfridges as well, and I think possibly Harvey Nichols. So all the places you would expect it to be fair. So this one is, this is an eau de parfum, 30 mils, £90. It's on my left wrist, which is this one, isn't it? So this is, I got very confused earlier with my left and right and ended up getting really confused between the two of them, because to me they're like my top two and I keep wearing them together. I get confused as to which one is the other. So I put them on and then thought, oh, and I'd put left wrist on both ones. So I've had to put them on my hand as well. But I did recognise straight away. So I love the end of this one. So the brand describes it: the defining adventure, the scent of scorched sandalwood on the slopes of an erupting volcano, the surprising contrast, potent and addictive sandalwood brightened by the vibrant notes of a spicy coffee. Fragrance family: woody, spicy, musky. The ingredients include ginger, cardamom oil, limette, sandalwood, cedar, ylang ylang, as well as coffee, absolute and musks. So I thought it started off what I would call quite a green perfume, a little bit on the masculine side, pine trees with an element of spice. After a while it went a bit salady and peppery, with something a bit sweeter coming through. And at this point I would not have said it was going to be one of my favourites. But after about an hour it completely changed. It became much sweeter, but in a very gentle way. Made me think of being a child in a country garden. I felt calm and I felt happy. And then it went a bit musky. I thought there was maybe a bit of a floral hint, but I'm not sure what that was. It finishes with a gentle, calming smell, very creamy. So it was after a few hours of wearing it, but, you know, it's still worth the wait because it was definitely worth the end result. And it lasts. I could still smell it the next morning. So, yeah, I can smell that now, and it's gone into this beautiful, creamy, gentle, calming, gorgeous smell. Oh, it just makes me happy. So it's complicated, this one. It's interesting and it's eventually beautiful. This is what I put. So I have put it in my top two, and I keep changing my mind between this and the other one and which to prefer. So I've had to put them in equal. So the last one, the other one that I absolutely adore, is Papyrus Moleculaire. It's a 5ml one again. Luckily, the two I like the most are the 5ml. And it's an eau de parfum this time, and it's available from Harrods. Again, 30ml on this one is £90. So this is on my right wrist and hand. The brand says the defining adventure, an encounter with tattooed women smoking cigarillos and weaving papyrus leaves. So I don't really know what that's going to smell like. The surprising contrast, milky, woody and powdery papyrus, contrasts with deep and rebellious tobacco. Fragrance family is woody, powdery and spicy. The ingredients include coriander, papyrus, sandalwood, black pepper, tonka bean absolute, tobacco absolute, leather accord. So I thought that in some respects this was quite similar to the other one, in that it started off quite masculine, quite green, I felt. But then slightly milder. I didn't spray the other one. I'm going to spray them both after, actually. Slightly milder than the other one. So it kind of reminded me of the outdoors, though. And again, at this point, I wouldn't have said it would be one of my favourites. It does change really quickly, though, this. And it has a sweetness coming through. It's a really gentle smell. Now, I wrote that it reminded me of violets. Because I think that was like one of my childhood fragrances, and it kind of reminds me, there's a definite childhood memory coming through of me sitting in my back garden in the summertime. There's a woody bit that adds to that. It's almost like, you know, fences, like a long time ago when we used to have strange things that people painted the fences with, and if someone had just treated their fence, there was that kind of smell in the background, but in the summertime in a nice way. I don't know what it was. But this is calming, it's gentle, and because of the way it ends, it's definitely one of my top two. It just reminds me of being a child. It's comforting, soothing, it's beautiful. So this one's over here. Yeah, it is less strong than the other one, I think. But what was the other one? Was that, I can't even see. You see, I need to wear my glasses. Bear with me a sec. Yeah, these two are both eau de parfums, but they are, I think this one's ever slightly, I didn't spray it, did I? Yeah, ever so slightly stronger. than this one. I can't make my mind up. I honestly can't make my mind up between them. So let's try the Santal Volcanique. Seeing if I can remember what it's called, because I can't read it, on this side again, so it's all fresh. Now I know I don't like the initial smells as much, that's the thing. I love the way they finish up. Luckily it does probably change within an hour. I think I said a couple of hours there, but I think today felt like it had changed within an hour. This is, it's very masculine at first, but it's green, it's piney, it's fresh, it's one that I didn't think I'd love as much as I do, but I really, really do. And then we'll try the Papyrus Moleculaire one. Again, this one at first, it's not one I'm thinking that I'm going to love, but it's strange. These perfumes are amazing for the way they develop. I have to say that. Yeah, it's kind of green, but in a milder way. That's kind of celery. That's kind of cucumber. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, they both end up beautifully. They're my top two. So there you go. I loved this. Now, I only really started getting back into perfume in the last 2 or 3 years. Before then, I'd gone off it. I got a bit of an allergic reaction to a fragrance thing when I was pregnant ages ago. And that kind of put me off fragrances for a while, including things like shower gels and things like that. Now, I've got quite a reasonable sense of smell. I love smells, but I wasn't using things. And so when I first started getting beauty boxes and rediscovered the smelly things, my life has just opened up, and perfumes in particular, it's like a passion. It's literally like a passion of mine now. So when I see things like this, I have to get them because I want to know what they're going to smell like. And this was not disappointing in any sense of the word. It's really interesting. It's complicated smells. It's the sort that you want to just put one of them on. And this is what I will do now. I will wear one at a time, and I will just sniff through the day and just see how it develops and notice it. And it just keeps you present in that moment. And that's another thing that is like good with it, because I think, you know, when you're stressed and they say you have to be present in the moment. Part of when I do that is smells, and I smell what's around me, and having a lovely fragrance on keeps you present in the moment. God, how many times did I say that then? Anyway, what I want to say is this is a great box. If you love your perfumes and you want to try something out that's a little bit different, that you might not have had this brand before, then I would say definitely get it. And look at their website. Their website is quite interesting with the way that they've developed it and come up with the sort of why they wanted it to smell a certain way, and how it is, how they've put the ingredients together. Kind of know what I'm talking about. I've gone a bit over the, you know, when you get to that point then when you think my brain's frazzled, I have no idea what I'm saying, my nose buds have been completely overwhelmed. But I've had so much fun trying this out, writing the notes up. I will try and get some more Discovery perfume boxes at some point. If I see any, if you see any, let me know, and I'll do it again because I really enjoyed this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. It went on a bit longer. I thought that wouldn't last that long, but never mind. Sending you lots and lots of love. I filmed my toil box already today. I think that might come out after this one. I've got a feeling I should put this, something's telling me to put this one out first, so I'm going to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to send you loads of love and positive energy. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week. I sent a little bit of Reiki healing out with the toil one. So have a look at that at the end. If you don't even want to watch the toil stuff, just jump to the end and have a look and see if it works for you, because I just wanted to see whether it did. Anyway, sending you loads of love, positive energy, and I'll see you again, hopefully really soon. Take care.